I went into a store the other day and I tried to buy something and they were offering a military discount. And the woman said to me, "Were you in the military, ever in the military?" And I said, "No, but I raised a teenage daughter." I got the discount. My daughter isn't a teenager anymore, and she called me a few months ago and she said, "Dad, I'm going to have a baby." And she said, "You're going to be a grandfather." And at that moment, I had yet another midlife crisis. I think it was number 16. And she's since had her baby, and she named it Wolfgang. Wolfgang Grosshardt. Can't make that name up. So I had my midlife crisis, number 16, and I did what any red-blooded American man would do. I went out and bought a motorcycle. Now, my colleagues know I have gone overboard, and I have a Harley jacket and Harley boots. My Harley motorcycle looks like the Batmobile. It's all black. It's really cool. But one thing I didn't share with them was that it scares me a lot. And so as I haven't been on a motorcycle for 30 years. And that was when I lived in Des Moines. And I was driving it the first couple of times, and I was really, really scared. And then after a little while, the fear went down and the sort of joy part came up, and I started to thinking about life. Buying a Harley will do that to you. And the more and more I thought about this, I thought a lot of things in life, really, it's all about the mixture, the relationship between fear and joy. So I thought, the first time your first kiss, right? Fear and joy. Mm-hmm. When you get married, when you have a child, fear and joy. Teaching is like that too, every day. It's a mixture of fear and joy. Those of you in this audience who are teachers know that's true. So I started thinking a little bit more in the context of today and all the presentations that have been given, and I realized that the Khabele School has a philosophy that believes in ratcheting up joy and diminishing fear. What a concept. Those of you who have experienced American schooling understand that this is a rather rare philosophy. So then I started to think, well, how do we do it? How do we walk that talk? And I thought, well, there are two broad ways. One is structural, and a lot of the structural things have been mentioned already today. I made a list, and because I made a list, it means that I have to read it. So it begins when students come to the school and they start to go through the application process, and they have a mentor student who sort of walks them around for 2 days. They get to know the school a little bit, the students get to know them a little bit, and already you see that mixture of fear and joy. And you could already see joy ratcheting up and fear going away. We have things like honor council. Ryan and I are both on honor council, so you can imagine how that goes. But honor council, which in any other school would be a fearful experience. But at the Khabele School, we try to make it a supportive experience. We have student leadership. We have an intimate campus. We hire teachers who believe in this philosophy. We have an operations team that is fantastic. You go to our school, if you want something, you know who to go to talk to, and those people do that with a great amount of joy. We have permeable leadership. We have an administration that are also teachers. Now, those of you teachers, right, if you've worked in other schools, you know what Friday is. Friday is the time to go to the bar, right? After school's over. Go to the bar and you complain about the administration. One of the first things that amazed me about the Khabele School is on Friday when we would go to the bar, not only did we not complain about the administration was there with us. And we have pizzas, and we have Big Bangs, and we have parent summits, and we have advisory, as Ryan mentioned. We have all these things that structurally relate to the mission of the school, that how I've interpreted it as the idea of ratcheting up joy, ratcheting up delight, and diminishing fear, diminishing anxiety, diminishing stress. Now, fear, anxiety, stress, that equals teenager, right? And parenting teenagers. We know that it's never going to go away. We know that students are going to wake up, a boy's going to wake up one morning and look at himself in the mirror and say, I really hope nobody notices that pimple. We know that girls and boys go to school worried about their friends, worried about being embarrassed. We know that's there. But one of the things that we do so well is we bring joy and love to that mixture. So the structural things are there. The other broad area where I think we walk our talk is not structural, and it's not easily defined, it's ineffable. And it's found in many of the things that you've seen on the film today and many of the talks that have gone on so far. These are matters of the heart. I knew I was in a strange place, a unique place, a wonderful place, when one day I was standing in the lobby of the high school and a group of students were standing around talking about utilitarianism and Hegel and Kant. And I didn't know about any of those things. In fact, I had to practice before I got here just to say those things. And I was part of this discussion, and pretty soon other students were coming. And I thought to myself, what other high schools in Texas is this happening? Right now, where else is this going on? I knew I was in a different place. But the thing that really marks it for me is that every day, just about every day, I tell my students how much I love them. It's a difficult type of love to describe. So we are creating something together. Now, they are going to teach me about utilitarianism. I have the great joy to teach them a little bit about life. It is a wonderful moment when that moment appears out of nowhere and lands in your life. At this stage in my life, after working in schools for so many years, we're not perfect. But I've never worked in a school where we try so hard every day to hold those values close. Fear and joy. I've gotten a little bit better at riding my motorcycle. The joy has ratcheted up quite a bit. I ride my motorcycle to work. I ride my motorcycle every day to the Khabele School, where every day we all experience that same feeling of excitement, that same blend of fear and joy. And for me, it makes my life whole. Can I get an amen from the congregation?